Today, I'm just going to do a really quick flip through of a number of workbooks from the Critical Thinking Company. First off, we have The Basics of Critical Thinking. Now, this book is kind of a thick book. I'll compare it to Mindbenders so you can see. It is a rather thick book. It focuses on the basics of critical thinking. There are 20 lessons in it. Each lesson is about 4 pages. And so what you will find on each lesson is very colorful pictures, but not a lot on each page. And you have to, for example, for this one, you're looking at the decision that they made and then the conclusion. And so you also have beliefs and claims. So each one is just looking at different critical thinking, finding evidence. So circle the sentence which has the evidence to support what the claim is. Then you'll be evaluating the evidence. Also, you have inferring and inferences. What is the difference for those? Facts and probable truth. Facts, probably true or probably false. Advertising. I think this will be a fun one. So that is the basics of critical thinking. Next up is Mindbenders. This is level 4 for grades 3 through 6. And it's all about deductive thinking skills. So for each one, what you're going to have is a puzzle with information, and then you have to determine which goes with each one. As you get further along, there will be how to solve the multi-dimensional puzzles. Mindbenders for grades 3 through 6. Then Crypto Mindbenders. This is classic jokes. This is for grades 3 through 12. This also has a sample activity that will explain to you what you're doing, and then for each activity, use the clues to determine the value of the letter, and then you'll solve the cryptogram, which is at the bottom of the page for each one of these. And as you go through, they do get more difficult as you go through the book. So that's classic jokes. Then there's also a Crypto Mindbenders for famous quotations, and it is extremely similar to the classic joke ones. So here is your quotations, but you're doing the same type of logic and reasoning on your activities. Think a Minute. This is level C, book 1, and so this is for fast, fun brain work. So this is for grade levels 6 through 8. Here we have logic. So based on what they're telling you, you are drawing conclusions. How many triangles do you see? How many squares? Riddles. And if you like some of these, what it does tell you at the bottom is that these individual activities are from a different book. And so if you like more activities like this, then you can get a specific book that they have that incorporates these activities. So this is just a compilation of a variety of different thinking activities. Balance Benders level 1. This is for grades 4 through 12. This includes puzzles and then also algebra concepts, and it has the solutions in it. So you are balancing the scales to determine which answers will be true. And as you move on, these do get more difficult. Think Analogies. This is for grades 3 through 5. You will have multiple different types of analogies. Part to the whole, synonyms and antonyms, descriptive analogies, classifying, complete the pair. This has 40 pages. Pattern Explorer. This is for grades 5 through 7. You will have 40 different patterns that you get to explore. Predictor, Equality Explorer, Pattern Explorer, Number Ninja. And one of the things that I haven't been mentioning in all of these books, but they do include the answers in the back. Dare to Compare Math. This is for grades 6 through 7. And you can see it's very short questions. Who charges less for a dozen donuts? So you just have to determine which is a better deal, which is larger. This is not separated by any specific category. It's just comparing different questions and different values within math to be able to determine which is larger or which is greater. And again, there is the answers at the back. And if you need a hint for the question to determine the answer, there are hints that they give you as well. You decide. This is for grades 6 through 12. They do recommend that you get the instruction answer guide along with the student textbook. This includes 75 U.S. Supreme Court cases. What this focuses on is the Bill of Rights, so the different amendments. For the amendments, you will have multiple cases, and what you will have is the information for the case and determine how would you judge it. What ruling would you give based on the information that you have? They do guide you with different activities for things to do in making your decision. And then in the instruction guide, it does give you the rulings that the judges had for each of the different cases. Reading Detective. This is for grades 5 and 6, and you'll be reading 50 different passages from a variety of literature works. So you have excerpts, fictional, non-fictional, and you'll be focusing on understanding where the information comes from, making generalizations using figurative language. They will ask to give the number of the sentence that best supports the given answer. So you are truly being a detective in finding the information for the reading comprehension questions. And the information, this is not set up so that it's purely the factual information from the story. There are questions that ask you to infer answers and make the best choices. And then they do also have the answer key. Sentence diagramming. I do have level 1 and level 2 for this. Obviously, you can just tell from the cover that level 2 is a much more complex sentence than for level 1. Level 1 is for grades 5 through 12. Level 2 is for grades 7 through 12. For each lesson, you will be introducing a concept. It will give you examples. Then there will be an error which you have to fix. The next page is focusing on diagramming the sentence where they have already drawn out the diagram for you. Then you need to write the sentence based on this diagram. And then finally, for this concept, you will be diagramming a sentence without having the diagram already written out for you. It does go through a variety of grammar concepts. And again, this is for level 1. So you can see here's compound sentences. And then you have your answers. For level 2 is a slightly larger book than level 1. So for level 2, it starts with a review. So what you're going to be having learned in level 1, you will now review, and then it gets into your more complex sentences, but it is still set up the same way. And so you're going to have objective complements, participles, modifying nouns, infinitive phrases, adverbial clauses, comparison, and elliptical clauses. Editor-in-chief, this is for grades 6 through 8. This is level 2. So there are other workbooks in this series. There are 12 lessons. There are a total of 118 pages. So each lesson is a different level based on what you're looking at. But for example, what you will do here is this is all about content. So there are 9 content errors that you need to fix in this passage. And it will tell you here what you're looking for and how many there are, so you can truly check them off. So for example, here's 12 capitalization errors. As you move on, it gets into more material. So here's period, comma, exclamation mark, quotation mark, colon, and apostrophe. Then moving into the middle of the book, you're looking for spelling errors. Then you get into different concepts as you move throughout the book. There is a short lesson before you are looking at those individual concepts. So this one is on pronouns. And then after this lesson, you will start editing based on pronouns. So here's 12 errors for pronouns. Then you have a mini review as well. And as with the other workbooks, there are the answers in the back of the book. Vocabulary riddles. This is for grades 4 through 8. This is book 1 in the series. It is exactly what it says. There are riddles, and you're determining definitions based on the different riddles that you're working with. Each riddle does include a few questions, and you're going to be looking for parts of speech as well as your definition. Word roots, this is for grades 5 through 12. It focuses on prefixes, suffixes, and the root word. There are 30 lessons. Each lesson has a different root word, and you will be able to see the prefixes and suffixes that you can use with that root word. So here's the prefix, the root, and the suffix to give you a variety of words. You'll focus on completing the sentence, word parts, writing the sentences, and then you can move on a different root word with corresponding prefixes and suffixes. After every few lessons, you're going to have a review that will focus on the definitions of the words. Some lessons focus on more root words, some on more prefixes, and obviously this one is on more of the suffixes that can be utilized with these words. I hope that this has been helpful. Have a great day.